This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined once again by Nina Hughes ahead of her second professional fight this Friday night. York Hall, the home of boxing, of course, here in the UK. How's camp gone and how much are you looking forward to getting back out?
Yeah, camp's gone brilliant. Had some really good sparring for this camp. And yeah, can't wait till Friday.
Just tell us your reflections on your debut. It was only in December, so not long ago, but you had so many fights as an amateur, 7 national titles, was it? GB rep. What was it like as a pro and turning over?
Yeah, I really enjoyed my debut. Everyone said you only get one pro debut, so enjoy it. And yeah, I did. It went to plan. So yeah, I was happy with it. Happy with the performance.
Now you've got Bec Connolly on Friday night. I just read a press release with some quotes from her about half an hour before doing this interview. She seems to see you as some sort of gateway to a dream fight for her with Shannon Courtney, which I thought was interesting. But how hard is it? Because you look at Bec Connolly's record, she's become kind of a gatekeeper. She's lost her last 5, I think. But you have to take her seriously because unlike a lot of the journey women out there, or journeymen, however you say it, she will come to win.
Yeah, of course. I know she's coming to win. She'll come to fight. But for me, that'll make her even more open and easier to hit. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it'll be a good fight.
Have you seen much of her? I know a lot of her fights have been on TV, of course.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, I've watched all the ones that have been on TV. So yeah, I've seen her a few times lately.
And do you take anything from any of that? I mean, obviously you're confident in your own style, but is there any kind of weaknesses you pick apart watching the other fights?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of weaknesses that I think I'm going to exploit. So I just have to hope that I can do that on Friday.
What did you make of her? I don't know if you've even seen the press release, but the comments about, you know, she'll beat you and then she wants the Shannon Courtney fight.
She can dream.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I mean, you got to be confident in yourself. So fair play. If she's confident she's going to come win, that's what she has to be. So we're both confident we're going to beat each other. So yeah.
There was an MTK press release centered on some stuff you'd said as well, and it just seems like they're quite keen to fast track you towards titles. Is that an ambition you share?
Definitely, I need to be fast tracked. I haven't got time on my side, so I need to be fast tracked.
Yeah, I mean, what? There isn't a British title, of course, for women, but where do you see yourself kind of going across this year? Is it kind of Commonwealth title, European title?
Yeah, they've mentioned like Commonwealth title, so maybe that next, and then just keep pushing on until I can put myself in a position to be worthy of boxing for a world title.
Do you think you need kind of a bigger, not bigger, because your MTK are obviously managerially attached to you, but a big promotional company behind you as well?
Yeah, obviously it helps if you've got that platform. It obviously helps. The bigger the platform, the easier it is to get the bigger fights, isn't it?
Yeah. So has there been any kind of talk in that regard? Anyone kind of seen your debut and then stuff progressed from there?
Not yet. So we're just going to push on, maybe like looking at the Commonwealth title next and see what we can get from there.
Good stuff. I was at the press conference yesterday for Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano. There was kind of a bit of it's not even an undercard press conference because they're not on the same show, but some other female fighters who've all achieved great things got their chance to speak as well. What do you make of what's going on in women's boxing at the moment? It seems like there's it's hitting a peak. You know, we hope it continues to grow, but it seems like it's as big as it's ever been.
It's definitely as big as it's ever been. It's really growing. I mean, the Katie Taylor Serrano fight's a massive fight, and yeah, I'm just pleased to be a part of it.
Did you watch the Clarissa Shields fight at the weekend?
Yes.
What did you make of it? And also the post-fight kind of back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue she's a great boxer, but I'm rooting for Savannah to beat her.
When you watch those sort of big fights, and I'm sure you'll be watching Katie and Serrano as well, do you get, not envious, but do you look at it and kind of visualize what it's going to be like for you when you get to that stage?
Yeah, obviously I'd love to be on that sort of platform and get to that stage, so it's something I need to work towards and hopefully get that happen.
Are there any kind of female fighters out there, because you were very accomplished as an amateur in your own right, but are there any female fighters out there that you look up to either now or when you first got into the sport?
Obviously, Katie Taylor was the big name when I first got into the sport, and she's opened doors for women's boxing. So obviously look up to her.
And you started boxing when you were 26, so relatively late on compared to some of the other girls, I suppose. But what sort of stage was Katie at then when you first started getting into it?
Good. When I first started getting into it, she'd won like multiple world titles and European titles. She'd won everything there was apart from the Olympics, but it wasn't in the Olympics yet. So then after I'd started boxing, that's when they introduced female boxing into Olympics, and then she went on to win that. So yeah, she won everything basically.
And she's influenced a huge number of fighters, not just female fighters. Is it kind of a goal of yours to do similar, to set an example for some of the other people who might come after you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's women's boxing is just taken off loads. So any way that it can be made bigger, I'd like to be a part of.
Stuff. Now, you still working part-time? I know last time we spoke you were.
Yeah, I'm working today, working tomorrow.
How do you do it? Like, because if you can't get time off around the fights, you're never going to get time off, clearly. So how do you kind of balance it all out?
Well, I trained at 6 o'clock this morning
Right.
for the last session. Just went for a run now. That's me done now. Yeah, I mean, I took some time off for like sparring and stuff to get in extra sparring. So yeah, I've just had to fit it around.
Jesus, and you got 2 kids as well.
Yes.
Can't be easy. Who have you been sparring for this camp?
So I sparred Ellie Scottney, I sparred Terry Harper, sparred Lauren Parker, who else I sparred? Sparred Sky Nicholson. Can't think of the top of my head who else I sparred now.
Well, that's enough, I think. they're not bad, are they? What was the experience like with Terry? Because obviously she's a former world champion. She's about to move up in weight in her next fight. What was that like?
It was a brilliant experience to go and spar her. Yeah, really enjoyed it. So it was good. Learned a lot from it.
And you've sparred Ellie before as well. I don't know if you've sparred some of the other girls before that you sparred this time around. How easy is it to kind of measure your progress when you're sparring people you've previously sparred? Because obviously you're getting better, but presumably they are too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's tough because obviously you have tough sparring, but it's nice to see where you're at compared to people, so it's good.
How is it kind of adapting to fighting? And there's no disrespect to Bec Connolly or Claudia Ferenczi, who you fought in your first one, but how's it like fighting them when you've been sparring, at least world-class operators, Harper certainly, and then going down a level really for the fights?
Well, I'm hoping it'll make the fight easier.
Yeah.
If I've got tough sparring, hopefully the fight won't be so tough.
But does it actually feel like that? Because when you had your debut, for example, compared to the people you're sparring and people you fought as an amateur, it must have been fairly comfortable. Yeah,
obviously. The tougher the spar, then I think that the fight can't be as tough as that. The harder the people are, the better the people are that I'm sparring, the more I'm going to learn from it. And hopefully the easier it'll be in fight night.
When you've done it for
at all, but yeah, I'm confident.
when you've done it for as long as you have and won all the titles you've won, how do you pinpoint the areas that you still need to work on?
I mean, we've worked on a lot since turning over from amateur to pro, just tidying everything up, turning all your shots over correctly, working on power a bit more, and yeah, I think I've changed a lot since I've turned over.
So we're going to start seeing you banging people out in the next year.
That'd be good.
Well, yeah. If you can stop it going to the judges' scorecards, are all the better. There was a big thing that kind of came up at the press conference yesterday with Serrano and Taylor talking about 3-minute rounds as opposed to 2. What's your stance on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we box 3-minute rounds as an amateur. 16-year-old girls can box 3-minute rounds as amateurs. So to go from 3 minutes to 2s, it seems like a backward step rather than a forward step when you turn over. Even though the rounds are more, like you're used to boxing 3 minutes, why not carry on 3 minutes?
Do you think it will help kind of women's boxing become maybe not achieve parity with the men's side of the sport in terms of commercial attraction and stuff, but get more respect if you're doing the same times, you know, 12 threes rather than 12 twos.
I think we should definitely, there's no reason why women shouldn't do 3-minute rounds the same as men, so hopefully one day that will happen.
Stuff. Now, before I let you go, just remind people out there how they can find you on social media.
On Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. And yeah, and can I just thank all my sponsors for helping me out for the fight. Can't do it without them, and for everyone that's bought a ticket.
And is it just Nina Hughes on your socials?
I think I haven't even changed my Twitter one. I think I'm still Nina Smith on my
Nina
Twitter.
Smith, okay.
I don't use that so much, but Instagram it's _Nina Hughes. _Nina Hughes. Yeah, Nina Hughes on Facebook.
I'm sure they'll find you. If nothing comes up for Nina Hughes, try Nina Smith.
I'm useless with all this.
It's all good. It's all good. As long as you get it done in the ring, that's what matters. Right, we'll look forward to watching you on Friday night. Best of luck, of course. And yeah, let's catch up again before the next one.